Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is a glorious day here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and I'm thrilled to welcome you wherever you are in the world. We are so excited to have you. I just was announcing to our wonderful panelists who are backstage that we crossed the 1 million view mark on YouTube on one of our channels. So we are super happy about that. And we thank each and every one of you who are following us, who are subscribed to our channel, USA Global TV and Radio on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. And of course, the star of our show is no stranger to this topic. His name is Mr. Philip Sykes. He's a dear friend, and he is the founder and principal of the British School of Excellence. Let's welcome him, and then we'll bring out our guest for today. Hello, welcome, Friday.
Friday. Let's raise our arms as high as we can. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well. You know, I'm so happy to see you. You had a fabulous show yesterday on Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire. And I'm still kind of coming off of that, making plans to go to the Bahamas. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into today's show.
Wasn't that fantastic, Dr. JACALYN?
Yes, amazing.
It really was. I mean, I think Loretta could light up half the universe just with her presence. It was just an incredible opportunity to engage with Loretta Thomas on the island of the Bahamian island, Nassau, and engage with this just force to be reckoned with in her passion for people, for serving and for helping people with their lives. And Loretta and I discussed her Cafe Channing Noel and the Duchess, the tea room, which was opened up by the High Commissioner from England. And Loretta shared with us some of the wonderful feasts that they're going to be indulging in over the Christmas period. And we also brought mindfulness into this and really sort of took into account how important it is to think about people less fortunate than ourselves. It's not, this is not just something that we take lightly on in any way whatsoever. But yesterday evening on Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire was just magnetic. It was just wonderful. It was magnetic. And for any of you listeners out there, please take time and go to USA Global TV and Radio, the British School of Excellence YouTube channel, and go back and look at these Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire programs, because there is so much fun and value and knowledge being shared freely that is inspirational, and it's fun, and very interesting people have been invited onto the platform. Some of it's very serious, some of it a little bit lighter, but we try and mix it up to add value to anybody's life out there.
Absolutely brilliant. And I was showing some of the graphics from yesterday. So please do tune in to Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire. It has its own playlist over on YouTube. So here we are at The Power of Etiquette and Manners, a show that we have every Friday. And we've got two beautiful people backstage. Tell us a little bit about Enkeleda and Sarah.
Well, Enkeleda has been on this platform quite a few times and comes from the beautiful country of Albania, which actually is booming right now. And it's a country that we all need to start supporting in its tourism. I believe it is. Funny enough, I've just been on a TV station, which is all televised through an Albanian who set this channel up. And You know them very well, Ian and Helena. We were in the studio earlier, and Albania is going to start rocketing. There's some wonderful business opportunities in Albania, but that's by the by. Enkeleda now living in Italy and has this passion for helping people, but predominantly around the lines of pregnancy, birth, children, and that is really Enkeleda's situation as she stands right now. And then Sarah, who is got a very senior position, has an organization where she looks after people and gives people the insights into how to build connections and build business etiquette and all of those sort of things. And recently, Sarah and I had some communication about understanding the culture and the etiquette around China and the very clear do's and don'ts of connecting with countries that are very different to let's say, what we are like here in the West. So two fantastic and fascinating people are joining us. And yeah, it's really wonderful to have 4 people on the show, including you, Dr. Jacqueline.
Thank you so much. Let's welcome them to the program. Hello.
Hello.
And you have just met for the first time backstage, so I'm looking forward to a wonderful show where we're all going to be sharing. You know, Philip, just in regards to what you said and the fact that we have these 2 beautiful women with us today, I really feel that before the pandemic, there were many, including myself, really, who weren't as culturally aware as they are today. And so when we bring people from other parts of the world, I just love to learn about culture and manners and etiquette. I've learned so much, even in writing books, how the way that we as Americans, we write and we read and we spell is not the same as it is all over the world, I mean, for the same words. So we're bringing education and awareness here today. So thank you to all of you for being here.
Thank you. Philip, you're on mute.
I'm on mute again. It is fascinating, and this is the power of education, coaching, and training. When we can reach out to a wider audience and share with people how to build confidence, make a change in their lives, or not only that, step way and above and beyond into areas that are very sensitive, and to give guidance and steering to people that may never ever have even thought about something as interesting as this topic actually is. Because I know from experience, and today it's very sensitive this for me, because in my first relationship, my ex-wife suffered really seriously from postpartum, and it is something that for me really resonates with me. And only after the horse had bolted did I realize and start researching and looking into this particular area. And the fact that Enkeleda has brought this to light, I think, is just absolutely fascinating.
Philip, thank you so much for your transparency and sharing that. I really appreciate your courage. I'd like to just go around, and Sarah and then Enkeleda, if you would share with us, what would you like the audience to take away from this episode of this show today? We'll start with Sarah.
So for me, I've been lately working a lot with the ladies, and we cannot ignore that there will be some challenges because we have some insecurities that they're built with us we cannot ignore. So while my journey with La Présence LLC, working with women, helped me understand what they go through when their body changes. We go through phases and we have to adapt accordingly. And to reach that level, us as mentors or as coach or trainers, being there and supporting them emotionally, mentally, brings a lot more power than we can think could. It impacts them in a lot of levels, and it helps them build another, let's say, phase of their life. It's like and coming out, this is amazing, and it's a life-changing one.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Enkeleda, how about you? What would you like people to take away from today's show?
So to talk about this topic today it takes a lot of courage. It takes that confidence that I have been building during these times, these years, and that I'm still working on. I have researched 2 or 3 years now about this topic, and there is not so much about this around. Yes, we have labeled women on postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, or just a few other names, but supporting them, building confidence, having the right tools, the right etiquette applied during this period of time, we are now raising this and raising awareness about this. I am so happy that we are going to speak about this, because we are living the traces that we can talk about.
Excellent. Thank you. So when we think about postpartum, who would like to give their understanding of the definition of what exactly it is?
If I'm very happy, if I may open that, that would be a really lovely, because I think it really sets the tone for today's program. And again, as I said, I really sort of got a bang on the head many years ago in trying to understand the whole sort of chemical side of things, and it was really explained to me. Sort of, it's almost like the fourth trimester, and it's a very significant physical, emotional, and sort of strong lifestyle adjustments for new mums, and understanding and really practicing good etiquette during this period is absolutely crucial for providing the right support and respect. And for me, I suppose, being a new father, but not also, I suppose, being educated, and I didn't even bother to sort of even take it into account to think about, I understood what was potentially what my wife was going through at the time, and we were very excited about this beautiful newborn that was arriving on our doorstep. But at the end of the day, there was definitely a period of quite a few months where, the postnatal depression kicked in. There was definitely times of complete and utter moments of despair, and I was lost. I didn't have a clue on how to sort of go into this or handle it correctly. I just didn't have the tools, and I should have lent on people that did, and I didn't do that. So, your question, Dr. JACALYN, really sets quite an interesting precedent, and I would love to now take the opportunity to hand over to one of these lovely ladies.
Excellent. Thank you. Who would like to start? Okay.
We are applying etiquette. We are living one place to another. Sarah, you can go on.
For me, it's a subject that it's very dear to me, because I did not hear about it before till, as I said, lately, by working closely with ladies and mentoring him in a close level. And when we heard it before, it was something very, let's say, secondary. But once we approach them and we live with them, what they go through, we know the impact of it. It's way deeper than with what we think, because it's an internal fight, let's say, between them, and how the world pursue them, and the struggles and the mental hustle. And there's a lot of things to deal with, and the newborn, and it's an overwhelmness, let's say, of emotions that they go through. And I believe that we should pay more attention to it, and to be more, have more empathy, more understanding, dig deeper, understand more the subject, let's say, be more sensitive about it. And that's what I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Philip, with what you shared, and Sarah, with what you shared, Enkeleda, I'd love to have you comment on. It sounds like it impacts not just the mother, but it impacts the father. It impacts the people in the immediate family as well. What are your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. It impacts everyone in the family, and everyone who is related to the family, even friends. It brings the fact that etiquette is really, really important during these periods of time. You have a newborn that has come to life, you just put him to sleep, and there are people knocking on the door because they want to see the child. There are people who want to hug the child, who want to kiss the child, but there are sicknesses that can be transmitted during this period of time when the newborn is so small, is so tiny, and you want to hug him, you want to kiss him. There are a lot of sicknesses that can go from the big person here who needs to be more aware of the fact that they are responsible, that they shouldn't wake the child, that they need to be considerate about everything, on the fact that they need to respect the time, that they need to, maybe if they want to help the mother or the father, they might be bringing food, or they might be helping in all kinds of ways, but not by giving the unsolicited advice, on giving them what is actually that they shouldn't be giving. In fact, even the dead can, the father can experience the postpartum depression as well, and this is something that I need to raise awareness on, because we just see the mother, but these two people are partners on this, and they need to be even more stronger during this period of time. I want to raise the fact, to talk about the fact that this is actually what Philip mentioned, the fourth trimester. And by preparing about this, by having the correct knowledge, education on this, on how to prepare, on how to be ready, on how to set boundaries, on how to set, to communicate, how to have the conversation with our families, on how to be ready for this phase, we can make a change. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. What are some of the symptoms that people can actually see or notice or feel?
May I go on with this?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. Symptoms. Let's not consider this a sickness, first of all, because it labels people a lot, and it brings just the label. And when you give a label, sometimes people, ladies, women, see themselves, especially if they are not confident about themselves, the fact that they can take good care of the child, they don't see this stage as a stage that they are going through, and they can grow from this. uh, it's a period of time when you are so emotional, maybe when the hormonal changes are making you feel all kinds of ups and downs. You just had a baby, you had the hormones of two people, and now you are just one. You have the baby in your hands. You have, you might be thinking about, oh my god, I need to be so happy, so grateful about the fact that I have my child with me, but I'm feeling so sad. I'm feeling like I need to be doing something else. I should be doing something else. I'm not bringing food to the house. I'm not cleaning. I'm not doing what everyone else is expecting me to do. And it's a challenging period of time, but the symptoms, if we can list them, are sometimes not quite seen. You might see a happy person, but in the inside, this person is so feeling so bad, or so negative, or is crying, or is hiding. This is why we need to build the connection between with each other, because by building this connection, by communicating on a deeper level, by building trust, by really communicating on a deeper level, we can understand what this other person is going through. And even if we don't understand what the woman is going through, by actually applying good etiquette and by having empathy, we can help them. It's a huge thing that we can do.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for also mentioning about labeling. When I was doing some research about this topic, what I have read on numerous sites, and again, they're not peer reviewed, so they're just on the internet, but that it requires a medical diagnosis. Have you heard anything about that? That if a woman does have certain symptoms, then she can meet with a medical professional to get help?
Yes, I went through this myself, through the medical research. I went through psychology study, but then I also went through meeting a lot of doctors myself. I went through postpartum depression as well. And even though I wasn't accepting the fact that I was going through this, because sometimes when you are going through something, everyone else might see this change except from yourself. You think you are doing everything right. And who helped me? Okay, in Italy, for example, after you give birth, there are psychologists that are going to approach you time after time. They are going to speak with you, or they are going to explain to you what this is, what is going on. And I was having the baby blues because there are so many differences, and we need to really study or learn about this, because even by making the differences, what is baby blues is happens from the when the baby's born to 7 days after, and you are this emotional person who is always crying. I was always crying, especially during the first week. You would find me having my child, hugging my child, and then from one moment to the other I was crying. I was hugging my husband, and I wasn't understanding why I was doing that. And that was the fact that I wasn't understanding myself, and I was crying even more because I wasn't understanding myself. So it's really, really challenging, and I can tell you that I forgot the question, because what you asked Dr. Jacqueline, because I got so much into this. We can't skip the fact that memories hold emotions, I guess. Even though I went through the depression, I can now say that I'm grateful for the fact that I went through that, because it taught me something, it communicated me something, it informed me that I needed to let go of a few things. I wanted, for example, in my case, I wanted to have control over everything. I wanted me to be the perfect parent. I wanted everyone else to be the perfect person who was going to be present in my child's life, and they would be the good person or the good example. But we don't have control over what we don't have control, and we don't know what we don't know. Actually, everything is teaching us something. Every person is teaching us something, and I needed to let go of the past and the future that I couldn't have control over. This was my experience. I hope someone learned something from this. But as I say, I mentioned this yesterday during a session with a client. Imagine having a huge rock or stone in front of you, and you are going to your house. You want to go to your house. And in order to go to your house, everyone wants to go to the house every day. Even when you finish work, you go to your house, to your home. Uh, to go there, you need to remove this stock, or to go past this rock. Everyone finds a different way to do that. I might bring a ladder and go over it. Someone might go from the other side. Someone might do something to the rock so that it disappears. So don't just take my word on this. Try to listen to your own instinct. You have the instinct that is growing bigger and bigger. And even though I am telling you that there are rules that apply, there are etiquette rules, there are good manners that can accompany this period of time, you know that you can listen to your own instinct, and you need to build that instinct, especially if you are now a mother. And we can break rules by learning them first, what the rule is, and then break them.
You're so brave. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And you absolutely, because of what you went through, you are helping other people. And I just commend you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Sarah, over to you. What would you like to share about what you've just heard, or anything that's coming to mind for you?
Yeah, so regarding, I had my best friend, she gave birth lately, a few months ago. And I remember her calling me and saying, Sarah, whenever my baby cries, I cry. I don't know what to do. I'm struggling. He's crying all the time. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. And the father also has work and has things to do, and they shift and all of that. And I was like, as Enkeleda said, I told her no one came with the motherhood, or no one came with the guidelines. We come with something, as Enkeleda said, an instant, and we listen to it. And after I said that, she started slowly taking it easy on herself, and she started feeling and embracing the change, the fact to become a mother and to trust her own guts, her own feelings. And as we speak about etiquette, is just the fact of stop. Whenever someone has a baby, doesn't mean that all of us women will have to apply the same rule. It doesn't work like that. Maybe it will work for me, the other person will not work for them, and so on. So we have to adapt and adjust accordingly. We can advise each other, but we cannot assume that it will work, and keep asking, let's say, keep pushing the person. Did you try this? And I told you about this thing, and I told you about the other one. And it just makes them feel that they are not doing it properly. And this breaks them. It breaks their confidence, it breaks their personality. They cannot speak to anyone anymore. They don't want to hear advice that they can be very, very useful for them. So etiquette here plays a huge role on what to say, when to say. And as I speak about etiquette, there is a very strong point that it's very dear to me, is that when we go and visit the mother or the baby, let's avoid, let's say, few things. Let's say too much makeup. For example, myself, when my best friend gave birth, I don't go with makeup. The baby is touching, he's touching, he doesn't know. Avoiding makeup, I believe it's very hygienic for the baby also. When we enter the room for the baby, let's make sure that we are washing our hands already. We don't jump into the baby, we let the mother give it to us, for example. For me, this is a very high priority. And let's avoid using perfumes. The mother is still sensitive, also the baby as well. So there is a few rules in etiquette here that they can be applied on our visit to a baby or to the mother, and bear their emotions to the mom and the father as well. Let's not be pushy about our questions. If they avoid it and we spot that they are avoiding a question, let's cut it short and be more, having more empathy towards each other.
Excellent point. Thank you. I love that you shared about the makeup. I at the time, this is a number of years ago, I was going to see someone who just had a baby, and I had really long nails. I mean, super long nails, and I had my jewelry. And the person said, "Do you want to hold the baby?" And I said, I don't think I should hold the baby with these long nails. I mean, anything could happen. It's like the jewelry could take off. And she insisted, and I was a nervous wreck. I hardly even moved. I was sort of like, because you could actually cause injury.
Definitely. And as I said, the baby keeps touching. They still don't know. They want to try things, and they start looking at the hands, and we cannot do us everywhere we go. We have to have a certain manners and etiquette whenever we're doing something, especially when it comes to babies, mothers. They're still sensitive, as I say, and we cannot just go and be bubbly all over the place. We have to know that we have been driving, or we have been taking public transportation, whatever it is. Our clothes are carrying um, bacteria. So all of this we have to keep in mind. It is part of etiquette. Hygiene is a part of etiquette. Being thoughtful. We think about the person before. Okay, we know that we have a duty to be there for our friends, and they know. Plus, they really appreciate the fact that we are thinking of. They think that there are small details. It's not small details. It's very big for the other person. People who are mindful of the other person are always highly appreciated. We want them around us because they take care. They have they put themselves in the other person's shoe. What do I want? Let's say, for example, myself. If we just have a headache, for example, this is giving birth and all human. A headache. We don't want a certain life. We don't want a certain talk. We don't want to talk for long hours. So when we have that, we have to reflect it on every situation we go, especially as a sensitive subject as this one. Um, so that's my my point basically.
Thank you. Enkeleda, I see you shaking your head.
Yes, she's showing everything that I've been listing during these times, and that I wish a lot of people would learn about, because you need to be mindful. You need to be mindful. Think about this person. Yes, everything you shared, Sarah, is very, very insightful, and you have experienced it yourself, and you have done your research very good.
You know, as someone who doesn't have any children, the thing that always comes to mind for me is you have this mother, you have this father, and now this newborn, and lives are completely changed. I mean, people are not getting any sleep, right? And they still have to function and do all the things they were doing before, and now they're taking care of this innocent child, and your whole life is turned upside down. And then you have people who are meaning well, you know, calling and coming over and sort of invading your space, and you're trying to be pleasant and sweet to them, but at the same time, I imagine you're like, could you just leave? Can you leave me alone? I need some sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, I could share a lot about this, since my son didn't have a very easy experience on this. He wouldn't sleep for hours during the night, and then I wouldn't sleep with him. But then I had to wake up early, and I wasn't sleeping for a very, very long time. And if Philip knows me, I guess, very well, I can become overwhelming and overwhelmed, because I have a list of goals that I want to achieve in a week, that are goals that need to be achieved in 10 years. So especially if you are a new mother, you can't do everything. Everything as you used to do before. You can't go out with friends at night or during the day. You can't have that morning coffee with your friends or with your husband outside, because you had another schedule. um, it changed. It changes a lot of things. And yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I imagine also that before you have children, you have a group of friends that you're doing certain things with, and now they don't have a child, and now you do, and so those relationships change as well.
I now have only 2 friends. We just send memes to each other time after time, because we are parents as well.
Thank you. Philip, what would you like to add?
I've been listening with intention, making a few notes, and quite a lot of notes actually. I just think that, you know, the power of our etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence has never been more poignant than listening to these 2 incredible women and your wonderful questioning, Dr. JACALYN, really share. And what springs to mind is that as an outsider, you know, we need to be very clear on how important it is to be very, very good at listening and looking for signs from the new mum on where how she's feeling, and actually listening without any judgment. And really, again, as we always talk about, is that importance of empathy and understanding, and really trying to understand. Because again, as you said earlier, Dr. JACALYN, you know, your scenario is that you've never experienced this journey. So from your point of view, it would be trying to understand what that new mum is going through, and really acknowledging her, and that the feelings are very valid. You know, it can be, it is an emotional roller coaster. I remember this from my experience. And funny enough, when you know, off the back of now then meeting Kerry, and we've got this beautiful 9.5-year-old, I'll never forget, Kerry didn't want to see anybody. And, you know, she also found it very tough with Harley. And believe it or not, in South Africa, My sister has 2 friends who are midwives, and they literally send mums home with tablets to help them, find this balance and to help them with their sort of emotional and mental state. And we actually got a friend to bring some of those tablets over for Kerry, which helped her sort of find some sort of balance. And again, from an outsider, I think it's fundamental to offer practical help. Not just vague offers, but really, provide specific help. They might have another child. Could you look after them? You could be cooking meals. It could be coming in and doing laundry and cleaning and not have anything to do with mum and the baby, because maybe they just need time to sleep. Or mum needs just to have a shower and you can take care of the baby. And I think one of the other areas is being absolutely patient and non-judgmental. I think definitely as a father, being very patient and non-judgmental, not commenting about how your wife's body might have changed or would have changed, and these sort of areas that would be very, very sensitive. And again, I'm going to put this down to the practical, well, the sort of understanding now that I have is all of us must go out there and do our research, not just the men, not just the partner, but everyone must really understand what this postpartum challenge is all about, because it's inevitable. We're going to change. We're going to change. Both mum and dad are going to change, but more so mum. And we need to try to the best of our ability to be as supportive and respectful on this journey. So that's really what I've taken away thus far from this incredible conversation.
Excellent points. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a completely different position when it's never happened to you and you hear from other people. But Philip, what you just mentioned, and I know that men must go through something similar. I think they call it midlife crisis. But when, as women, our bodies do change. And when you look at social media, for example, and I brought this up, Philip, I think with you, one of the A-list celebrities who's absolutely gorgeous, intelligent, has all these businesses. And there's a picture of her on social media. And the only thing that people said was that her stomach was sticking out and she looked fat. And I thought, how cruel. Like, how do we do that to each other as people, that's how you're judging someone based on their stomach? But yet someone has a baby, their body changes forever, or you go through menopause or whatever the case is. And these are things that are natural, that are happening. But yet what it does to us here, it's hard to even put into words, and we keep it inside and live in shame. I was reading about Oprah and the fact that she's lost a lot of weight, and she shared that she's lived in shame for most of her life because of her weight. So thank you for bringing that up about how the body changes and how we have to deal with it, and how it affects other people in our lives as well, and they don't know what to do or what to say.
Yeah, those are hugely valid points. And I think, again, it's very easy to point fingers or to comment. And people often have, pass a throwaway comment, but the damage that it can have and will have is exponential. And this, for me, is it's cruelty. It's very unfair. It's thoughtless, and we need to be building support and building a support network, and we need to understand what those boundaries are. We need to understand how can we make the journey that much more enjoyable, because as it's known, your life is going to change. Wow, your life's about to change. Well, we all know it's going to change. How do we know how it's going to change? We know some answers to that question, but I would definitely imagine we'll know from experience that as I think you said, Sarah and Enkeleda, there's no manual that you give and say, well, now this is all going to happen word for word, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's not going to happen. No way.
Philip, I read a lot of books. I'm a bookworm. And that, in fact, didn't do me well, because I was planning on what I was going to do as a parent. And I was feeling like nothing was meeting my expectations. And yes, you're right about that. Even about the body shaming, it happened to me as well. I lost a lot of weight, about 20 kilograms after giving birth. But there was a part of my body that was still looking a lot, having lost a lot of weight in other parts of the body, and the belly was still in there. And during this summer, I was told about 10 or more times that I was pregnant. it hurts sometimes, even though I had the confidence in myself or everything else. Yes, it hurts. Imagine doing this to someone who is still experiencing all those kinds of emotions, all those hormonal changes, who isn't going outside of the postpartum depression or anxiety or fears. Okay, you get it.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. I'd love to wrap up this show by giving some do's. So we've gone through a lot of don'ts. Let's go through some etiquette and manners. What are appropriate things to do and say? We'll start with Sarah.
Okay, so for me, I would advise people to be creative into when we ever going to visit. We have a tradition, let's say, in back in my country, we give either money, gift, bracelet, gold. Usually, if it's a girl baby, so we give her an earrings, gold earrings. So there is a lot of things to give the baby. What I think also could be very creative is to bring gifts that can benefit the mother too. Let's say the yoga, I think it's named postport. I don't get the word very well, but let's say for the yoga gym, there is a lot of activities that they can do post. I will get the word right. So for after giving birth, there is classes, there is wellness centers, there is a lot of things that also activities for the couple, let's say parents, if they're together. It's amazing to give them that. It boosts them to still continue their life in a normal way, let's say, regardless of the baby. Okay, we have a baby, yes, but it doesn't mean that I should forget myself and just live like a day by day and don't care about myself. So it pushed them to build again the confidence, give them a lot of strength, let's say. That could be also creative. For the mothers, I believe that let's approach coach and personal, let's say, trainers, specialists in the transformation journey, let's call it, and be more open to talk about it, confident to talk about it. And it's just like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Um, uh, we have been doing this for ages, and everybody can do it. They have to believe that they can do it and they're going to do it amazingly. We just have to have the confidence, the power, be surrounded by the right people, and I'm sure that they're going to have an amazing transformation journey, not only a baby but a life change, and a positive one. So this is what I can say.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enkeleda, over to you.
So Sarah mentioned about everything. Another thing that I would like to add is boundaries, on doing the opposite of what we have been doing until now, encouraging people to communicate their boundaries by, for example, asking them, what you expect me to do, what do you expect me to do, what you expect me not to do, what are your limitations. We can look after this again and again. You can tell me if something feels or doesn't feel right for you. For example, I could say from my own experience, I didn't want people to come over, especially when my child was asleep. I told you about my experience. And having people who respect these boundaries makes you feel even more empowered and even better about the support system that you have. Philip mentioned this as well. I would encourage people to create the support system, someone they could go to when they need that, they want to talk about something that is difficult. Watch who is this person in your relationship, or who is this friend, or who you can go to when you feel like you need someone to talk to. Even though this might be your second, your third child, even though you might have the experience, you will still experience emotional changes or challenges. So build a support system. think before. These are some takeaways that I really want you to look at.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. You just shared so much value. I really appreciate it. We are at the end of our show, and I'd love to give each of you an opportunity to invite people to reach out to you. And if you would provide the value that you can bring to our audience, what are the services and the value that you can bring? We'll start with Sarah, and how do people contact you?
Okay, they can. I'm the founder of La Présence LLC. I have a website that is laprésence.ai, or they can reach through WhatsApp or calls on +971 502 230 091. I'm based in UAE, but also online also. What I can bring to the people is that I'm in the phase of being in the etiquette business, but not too old-fashioned way, but it's more of a modern way, let's say. And we can together build a trademark, let's say, of people. When you are there, you have. This is why I named my company, by the way, La Présence, is to know how to mark your presence wherever you go, whenever you go. Is how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk, how you dress up, your personality, your personal style, identity, a lot of ways. So when we tackle a module, or let's say a segment, it's not going to be specific to one topic. We make it as vast as we can and as per the need of each person. Also related to their background or what they are working on or the overall journey that they are looking for.
And who would be your ideal client?
Lately, I've been working with corporates and companies, and also it's aligned, it's all together. Female mostly approach me, I don't know why, but lately I had a surprise. I had a group of gentlemen that they approach me that they want the transformation journey and etiquette as well. And I named it the Gentleman's Transformation Journey here. So also I do with them to not make it more boring, but more lively. I do workshops, and I do it in off days for people to be able to join and have fun. So it's a hands-on workshop where we do etiquette, table etiquette, British afternoon tea, and also at the same time we are talking, we are exchanging values, we are creating a social etiquette and business etiquette automatically. So they learn from it the way they want and the way it helps them understand it. So yes.
That's brilliant. Congratulations, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Enkeleda, over to you. What is the value? What are the services that you can provide, and how do people contact you?
I work, especially during this period of time, I am focused on women, on children as well. But during this period of time, I'm really looking forward to helping women that are not just in pregnancy or postpartum, even before these stages, because as we mentioned, we need to educate ourselves on this. You can do a couple education on etiquette, manners, and emotional intelligence, knowing, having the right tools about these stages will help you a lot during your life. No matter what you face, you are going to change the mindset, especially about etiquette, manners, emotional intelligence, and you will know what pregnancy is and postpartum. So this is it. I have my contact info in there. It's just one link and you will find everything in there. You can find my email, my Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and everything else so that you can contact me.
Excellent. And who is your ideal client?
As I mentioned, women. I am, especially during this period of time, I am really focused on helping women. I am working with women during this time, and I can see that I have, let's call it a call for this, because Maybe because I have gone through this myself and I needed some guidance on this. I looked at books, I did trainings, I did all I could, but now I am adding my own experience to this and what I really want to share.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. An absolute delight to have you here today. Please do come back and see us. Philip, I'm going to turn it over to you. What would you like to share with the audience today?
Well, firstly, without sounding belittling or condescending, I could not be prouder of Sarah and Enkeleda on their journey and what they're achieving, and the changes and the differences that they are making to people on a daily basis. It is just phenomenal, and yeah, it's just a very proud opportunity, and for me again, as an opportunity to congratulate the two of you. You know, the door's open for any questions, any guidance, any steering at any time. And I pray that your journey just continues to explode and expand, because you are doing such wonderful work. And I just congratulate you. So thank you for being with us today and giving us your very precious time. You know, time is a big gift. And for those of you out there listening and watching or watch this later, it's people giving up their wonderful time, their background, and the education that they've dedicated, the cost that they've put into this, and it is just phenomenal. So thank you for being with us today. And you know, from the British School of Excellence, I just ask you as an audience to spread the word on these wonderful, amazing guests that we have coming through the door. Spread the word about the British School of Excellence, spread the word about USA Global TV and Radio. The more we can do this, the more we can be advocates for one another, the more that we can make an amazing impact on this world.
Thank you so much, Philip. I really appreciate that. Enkeleda had to leave today, so she's not here with us right now, but we do have a comment from a viewer, Sylvia Antunes. I hope I said that right. I did not think about this subject before in the view of etiquette. Thanks a lot. So there you go. Thank you, Sylvia, for commenting. We really do appreciate you. And thank you for bringing the subject to light, because obviously this is not something that everyone's aware of. So I really appreciate it.
And so,
right.
Before we go, one thing, Sarah, when will your website be launched? Let us know the launch date.
Yeah, actually, it's just few changes about the schedule, but it's there already. It has contacts there as well, and they can just visit it.
And are you enjoying the journey?
It have been. I'm really thankful. I'll take this moment to thank Philip and you, Dr. JACALYN. The British School of Excellence really brought a huge change for me, and it took time. As we spoke a lot about confidence and building having the right tools to push yourselves. It starts within, I believe, and the circle as well. Believe in ourselves, and one step at a time. One thing that helped me a lot is not to have want it all, but slowly, and we can do it. And La Présence would not have been without the British School of Excellence.
Merci.
Building confidence, changing lives. I absolutely love that.
Beautiful.
Yes, I believe so.
Well, that's it, eh? It's Friday, and I pray, Sarah, I know it's a bit late for you, but enjoy your weekend, and please keep in touch. I want to know how you're getting on. And Dr. JACALYN, bidding you the most incredible weekend, and we will no doubt, I do hope we get a chance to have a quick chat this weekend. Lots to go through for 2024. Sarah, I want you back on here, please.
Definitely, I will come back. I have plenty of subjects that we can talk about and we can discuss, and I'm sure that they're going to help people understand what kind of power the etiquette have.
Well, we welcome you. Please do go ahead and book in for more shows. We'd be happy to see you again.
Thomas, thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, we are going to close out. Our next show is coming up. But before that, I want to thank the British School of Excellence for being our sponsor. We really do appreciate it. It means so much. And as I mentioned, we just crossed over 1 million views. And Philip, I want to thank you personally, because you have a huge role in all of this, as does the British School of Excellence and all of your graduates from your Train the Trainer program. Philip, I'd like to just go over to you quickly, because I know you have a course, The Polished Professional. Can you provide an update about this and how people can enroll?
Absolutely. So we've just launched an e-learning, the Polish Professional on Udemy. So anyone out there, we're running an amazing introductory offer at only $9.99, which is just phenomenal. The course value is a lot greater than that, but not only that, so many of our alumni have downloaded this course and the feedback thus far has just been phenomenal. In 2024, we will be launching an 8-module, the Polish Professional, which is going to offer huge value. There will be 2-hour sessions over an 8-week period. You can jump on in 1 week, you can miss a week, but it'll be ongoing, and you can either pay for all 8 up front, or you can pay as you go. And they're going to really bring huge value to you as an individual, not only socially, but not only business, but for your whole life, in your personal life, in your work life, in your social life. So that is a very exciting announcement for 2024.
Absolutely. Philip, I think it would be interesting also for people who take the course, they have an opportunity to come on the show and tell us about their experience and how they're going to incorporate what they learned into their lives.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right. Thank you again. We're going to close out with a little more information from the British School of Excellence. Until then, we see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes. Building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made, and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
Last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you. Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today.